What up, YouTube? What up, Facebook? I'm gonna try to do something a little different today. I'm gonna do a live reaction of this Roland Martin. It's me, your boy Bob TV. I'm just sitting back, relaxing, chilling. Uh, so I thought I'd do a live reaction. I haven't seen this, but this is Roland Martin, always bitching Martin. State of Black America, Trump attacks USPS, mail, sword machines removed, birther attacks on Harris. So he's still going with this thing, birther attacks on Harris. Birther attacks on Harris. Nobody questioning where she was born, man. That's not a birther attack. We just pissed off that she only pulling. She's a convenient candidate. She only pull out her card when she's around certain segments of people, and she needs to just be who she is. Just admit that I'm Tiger Woods. I'm multicultural, man. You can't lock me down to one race. I got black, I got Asian, I got Scotch Irish. I'm pretty much Asian. Just say that. But this is not what this video is about. What's up, Steve? What's up, NNAS? What's up, Tatiana? Always faithful, Tatiana. Uh, yeah, we go back to that other video. I just thought I'd do something different and do a live reaction on Roland Martin, probably bitching again. So I hate to use that word, but let's take a look at this.
VIP 2020, RM VIP 2020, and so that is Seek.com. Folks, a new survey of Black Americans in 6 battleground states was released yesterday by American University's Black Swing Voter Project. It found that Black men and women under 30 have far less trust in elected officials and are far less enthusiastic about voting than their parents. Let's break it down with Sam Fullwood, a fellow at the Center for Professional and Presidential Studies.
Now, usually when he say break it down, he means let's take a dunk on him, but let's see.
At American University. Sam, explain this, because when you look at this here, 21% of those 18-29 say they're not going to vote. They're not going to vote at all. 60 plus, 5% say they're not going to vote. That's a huge gap.
How you doing, Roland? I'm happy to be with you. Yes, indeed. This was somewhat surprising, but once we sort of looked at it a little deeper, it wasn't all that surprising at all.
Why is it surprising, dude? We've been telling y'all this mess for since 2016. You can't force people to vote for you. You got to give them a reason to vote for you, and the reasons have to be tangible reasons. You can't cram somebody down our throat. You can't suggest. You can't. The politics of usual is dead. It's dead. You ain't getting nobody out to the polls unless you give them a reason to get their butt up out. Well, it's your civic duty. No, my civic duty is to crush y'all when y'all crushing us. And the best way I can crush y'all is at these freaking polls. But let's keep going.
What we found was we did a survey of 1,215 African Americans of all ages in 6 swing states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Our idea.
Now, listen, he just said that these are African Americans. Now, are these African Americans or Africans who came over to America and became Americans through citizenship? It's two totally different, and a lot of them have 2 different views. But the key point is this is rolling time to dump on black men between 18 and 29.
Was less to find out about who they were going to vote for or whether they were going to vote, but more about what their attachment is to various institutions of American society, political institutions. And what we found was that there is relatively weak attachment, particularly for young African Americans, and it is reflected in their choices of who they were going to vote for or whether they was going to vote. And so you zeroed in right on the most shocking number, which is about 21% said that they will not vote. When you add that to those that said someone else or not sure, you get almost right at 50% of young African Americans, young under 30, saying that they're not going to vote at all.
Now, were these folks just told African Americans? Were they registered voters? Were they likely voters? Or were they just simply African Americans?
They were just simply African Americans. We were not interested in getting a read on likely voters because we kind of know that they're more inclined. The real challenge to increase political power among African Americans is to get the people who are disconnected engaged, and that's what we wanted to assess.
So, in looking at this here, a lot of people keep saying Biden, Harris, they got a big problem when it comes to young voters, and then I hear young voters who are like, oh,
big problem. They bash young voters and expect them to come out. Now, I stop this for copyright purposes because they will strike me if I show the whole thing through and through, especially this beanbag head. I'm going to do better, okay? It just ticked me off how he just dump on us and don't try to understand us and try to point the finger at us, with the, no, like he's somebody's daddy, looking like Sugar Bear. Can't get enough of that Golden Crisp. Kamala Harris has dumped on young people, and I'm going to show a video on that later on tonight. We already got Joe Biden, who dump on young people. You got people in politics that call young people bottom dwellers in their basement and all that kind of stuff, staying with their parents. And it really doesn't matter their current position. They still are voters, and they're still able to go and vote for you. And despite the position, maybe that's the reason why they're looking at you like, get away from me. It's because the position they're in. You're not offering anything or encouraging them to get out and vote for you. And the key word is likely voters. They're talking about trying to engage young voters in going through the process of change politically, when it's not always the political direction that gets you change. Because Martin Luther King, he didn't do change through political direction. Malcolm X, he did it from the outside, not from the inside. But let me keep going.
Our issues not being addressed. And I keep saying, y'all, this is real simple. They're going to talk to the people who are going to vote. And the reality is, if 35 plus are the ones voting, and all these young people keep saying, hey, here are demographics, I've said this to them, which I said to Latinos, your demographics don't mean jack unless you put your demographics to action.
Well, I think you're absolutely right about that. But the other side of that is, if you really want to bring about the kind of change that you're talking about, you got to vote. And a lot of young people.
This is where, to quote Jason Black, well, these old Negroes just don't get it. Now, I'm an old Negro. I'll be 52 in a couple weeks. I'm not young as I used to be. We have to learn from our past and realize that true political pressure has to be applied on both the right and the left. Not just the left, not just the right. And our forefathers in the protest movement knew this. Where we end up going either backwards or in a stalemate is when we did what we could to get into political office to change from there. That's where you got people like Justice Democrat. You got people like Brand New Congress, outside our revolution. They figure the best way to have true change is by putting people on the inside. Oftentimes when you go in the inside, you are the one that's going to end up being changed. Now, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of people who just got in office. And we're hoping and praying that they'll change. But true change will not come from them. It still have to come from applying the pressure on the outside, saying, if you're not going to do this right now, you ain't going to be in office. Even if you put them in there, you still have to say you're not going to be in office. The whole point of political pressure on the outside is the signal to you that if you don't do right by the people, I don't care if I put you in office or not. I don't care if Joe Blow put you in office. I don't care. We're going to rally enough people to come against you, get you out of office. So it's not just change on the inside. It's the outside pressure on those on the inside that's going to cause change. You got too many people that come in on the inside and talk about change in Washington, and they end up being changed themselves. I mean, I think majority of them go to Washington saying that they're going to change, and they end up getting beat into submission. I mean, I like Cory Bush already talking about the $2,000 UBI. That's great, but we got issues concerning your community, Cory Bush, and I believe you should kind of take care of that, because you can't take care of other people's houses until your house is taken care of. Shame on you to go out. It's like a friend of mine. He had a father. His father was a Rolling Stone. His father did more for his second family than he did for his main family, the one that he was married to. Kids from his girlfriend was taken care of way better than him, and it caused dissension and hatred. And I'm telling you, if you want to cause dissension and hatred in this country, ignore your people.
You see them now. They're in the streets saying they want change. They've got to vote, and they've got to convince their friends to vote.
Now, why would they vote for two people who already said they're not going to fundamentally change anything? Then we're going to go back to normal. And back to normal is we ain't doing jack for y'all. Why would we do that? You sat there and told us you ain't going to change nothing. So you sitting out there telling the only way we're going to make changes is by voting. Now, look, I'm all for voting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an anti-voter. I believe you vote for people who are determined to do some real change on your behalf and willing to die on the sword, willing to give up their political career for it. That's why I'm so up, this false political revolution, man. And in a political revolution, you got to be willing to die on your sword. You ain't going to join your opposition to fight another opposition. No, you die on your sword. You go after both of your oppositions.
And also, this whole idea of there are no perfect candidates. Okay,
right.
There's no such thing as that. And look, voters make choices. Older voters aren't sitting here saying, "Oh, I agree with everything Biden says, everything Kamala Harris says." No, what they're saying is, I got two choices. I got Trump, Pence. I got Biden, Harris. Now, that doesn't mean you still don't.
There they go with that bull crap. It's not about what we believe they say. It's about what they did in the past. And the true sign of what's going to happen in the future is what has happened in the past. They say if you don't remember what you did in the past, you're destined to repeat it in the future. And when you got Joe Biden, who would not repent for the crime bill, who still hold it as one of his prized possession, who is willing to reinforcement. He's not even reimagining. I hate that word that Clyburn used. He's not even reimagining or reconstruct the police, the prison system, the crime bill, the whole 9 yards. That thing need to be thrown out. And putting Joe Biden in office, he ain't throwing out his baby. And Kamala Harris, who was his chief disciple, remind me of Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy on WWE, the disciple of Seth Rollins. She was the Buddy Murphy to Joe Biden being her Seth Rollins. She perfected that. So how are you talking about the only way we gonna change things is vote people in office? I hate this doggone button, man. I got an NVIDIA shield. Hate that button, man. I hate that button on the NVIDIA shield. How you think you're gonna make change? Sure. Putting people in the office helps make the change go quicker. But if the people who you're putting in office to change the system end up becoming a crony of the system themselves, you wasted your energy, Doc. Mr. Professor over here.
The field in which it operates is undergirded by money. So Erica hit it on the head. This is about money. And that's one element. But then it's also kept in the...
You know who this brother remind me of? Remember that brother on Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Gin and Juice? The black brother who always talked about the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man, and he had him a white woman. White. He was always going after the white girls, but he was talking bad about their daddies. That's who he remind me of.
Serves as the kind of nexus for the community. It's often in the same place as everything else in little towns that aren't really towns. When you undermine that,
yep,
you're playing with the concept of America. Now where am I going with this? And then I end very quickly. When you see George Bush and them attack it, as Manuel Cleaver said in 2007, that's with a direct eye toward privatizing the post office. See, they put that 75-year pension thing in the future.
Oh man, how I get way over there to the post office? I'm sorry, guys. Let me rewind and go back. We still on this, brother.
The degree to which African Americans, particularly young African...
Let's go back. I'm sorry. Okay.
Particularly for young African Americans. And it is reflected in their choices of who they were going to vote for or whether they was going to vote. And so you zeroed in right on the most shocking number, which is about 21% said.
We went through that.
And looking at this here, a lot of people keep saying Biden, Harris, they got a big problem when it comes to young voters. And I hear the young voters who are like, oh, our issue's not being addressed. And I keep saying, y'all, this is real simple. They're going to talk to the people who are going to vote. And the reality is, if 35 plus are the ones voting, and all these young people keep saying, hey, here are demographics, I've said this to them, which I said to Latinos, your demographics don't mean jack unless you put your demographics to action.
Well, I think you're...
Well, let me backtrack with you on that, Roland Martin. No. See, Malcolm X said the only way you're going to get true change to happen for you is you got to detach your party to send a signal to them that you ain't getting our vote. You got to earn the vote. But what you're trying to say, Roland Martin, is put yourself in the voters category, predominantly our category, because you're going to pick one of the two. I mean, I'm a registered independent voter. At least do that. I don't believe in not being a registered voter. Register to vote. I'm not anti-voting, but register as an independent. Don't be on the side that I'm never going to vote. Voting has its position. It has its purpose. But you have to send a signal that I'm not for neither one of you. I'm only going to support those who support me. And if I don't see a real, true platform where you're going to support me, then I'm not going to support you with your vote. And contrary to what my brother Cornel West said, Cornel West said, and he really upset me with this, but he's his own person. I don't follow Cornel, Mr. Brother in Canada. I don't follow Cornel West. I appreciate him and I listen to him and I get some education for him. But at the end of the day, I make my own decisions, not Cornel West or Bernie Sanders or anybody else. Cornel West say, look, we got to get the orange man out of the White House. So even though I don't endorse you, I vote for you. Bruh, your vote is the ultimate endorsement because at the end of the day, that's all they need. They don't need your allegiance. They just need your vote. So they can care less about your allegiance. Just put me in office. Forget you. I don't need you to kiss my behind. Put me in office because I'm not kissing your behind as long as you put me in office. So Roland Martin, back to Roland Martin. No, bruh. The whole point is to send a message to you that you don't own us. You don't own us. So what you need to do is recognize that there's a segment of people that you're going to have to earn their vote. And me registering as a Democratic or me registering as a Republican pretty much tells you that you have a certain level of allegiance with me, that I'm on your side. The best way to say I'm not on your side is to detach myself away from you. And once you start doing something for us, first, then I might move your way. But first, you got to start talking our language.
Absolutely right about that. But the other side of that is, if you really want to bring about the kind of change that you're talking about, you got to vote. And a lot of young people, you see them now, they're in the streets saying they want change. They've got to vote, and they've got to convince their friends to vote.
You realize those kids, those people who are out in the streets, they got a lot of laws pushed without voting. And they pretty much told you that if you don't push their laws, they're going to vote you out. All you have to do is ask Mayor Fry. Mayor Fry, no, the lady pulled up Mayor Fry up and said, look, are you going to do this or not? Because we know you're up for re-election. Oh, you're not? Man, get the hell out of here. Walk on. Walk of shame. You realize the political pressure, the pressure from the outside changed the politics, not the pressure from the inside. Sure, you do want to get people elected. Sure, you want people who have your agenda in mind, who's on your side into office. But the bottom line, the power is not inside. The power is outside. And that's why people in general need to detach themselves from parties and form a like-minded, common-minded voters bloc to really put the pressure. I know people talking about, oh, we need to start a third party and things like that. I mean, that's fine and dandy. I believe the more the better. You know, the Movement for People Party, the Green Party. I get that. But no, still the bottom line is outside voting blocks. See, Malcolm X had the, Black Nationalist Party. He wasn't really pushing that as a party until he had to get somebody elected to a position. He was pushing that as a mindset that we're only going to put in office people who have our best interests, not people who don't have our best interests. In other words, if you have proven yourself to be a person that has our interests in mind and you want to run for office, we'll push you. But the key word, you got to prove yourself. And clearly, these two candidates and the other candidate haven't proved anything.
Well, and again, also this whole idea of there are no perfect candidates. Okay,
right.
There's no such thing as that. And look, voters make choices. Older voters aren't sitting here saying, "Oh, I agree with everything Biden says, everything Kamala Harris says." No, what they're saying is,
who does?
I got two choices. I got Trump, Pence. I got Biden, Harris. Now, that doesn't mean you still don't hold Biden, Harris accountable if they win. But what we do know is this.
Folks, that's the oldest thing in the book. I'm going to hold their feet to the fire. You realize in real life, you put somebody's feet to the fire, they're going to kick you. They're going to punch you. Ain't no politician going to let you hold their feet to the fire. So while you sitting up there trying to put them in the office and then saying we're going to hold their feet to the fire, we've been doing that stuff from day one. It's always that guy's bad, our guy is better. Maybe he's still bad, but he's way better than this person. So let's get this person in office and hold their feet to the fire. We tried to do that with Trump. Everybody like, okay, Trump president, let's hold his feet to the fire. We tried to do that with Barack Obama. Let's re-elect him for a second term, black people, and hold his feet to the fire. He still ain't do jack for you. Brother, these philosophies of electoral politics, you don't see that as a mind game? You don't see that as psychological trickery? Witchcraft? You don't see that? It's all a mind control game. That person bad. Our person's bad, but not as bad as that person. That person gonna get us all killed. This person, yeah, he got a lot of people killed, locked up. She got people dying in forest fires, throwing their mama in jail because the child's sick and can't show up for school. I mean, but that other guy's horrible. So you gotta pick the lesser two evils. Bro, I ain't trying to pick no evil, lesser or greater. You want to pick evil? Have at it. But I'm not picking evil, lesser or good. So if you got lesser and good running for office, miss me. Well, who are you going to fight? You got to figure which one would you rather fight? Bruh, I'm fighting both of you. I'm kicking one in the balls, and then I'm going to punch the other one dead in the chin and have my way with you. One of them going to be grabbing their balls, hurt, crying, moaning, and all that while I'm stumping on them. And the other one going to get cold knocked out once I check that chin. And then I'm taking my goods and walk away.
Here, if these are your issues and Trump Pence wins, you won't even get a discussion with them. They would be diametrically opposed. That's why it tripped me out when I hear these Bernie people yelling, if it ain't Bernie, we can vote for Trump. I'm going, you do know there's nothing Sanders agrees with Trump on.
Bruh. Do I got to go back to this? Bruh, most of Bernie Sanders supporters wasn't in the Democratic Party, number one. And number two, it wasn't about Bernie Sanders and what he agreed with. Because Bernie Sanders claimed that he don't agree with Joe, but he's going to support him anyway with his vote, giving him the ultimate support. Those people supported that platform. And if Joe ain't pushing that platform, they ain't voting for him. And most of the Bernie Sanders supporters are not voting for Trump. They're going to do what they did last time. Don't go vote Green Party or don't vote at all. And it's up to your people to try to secure that vote, but they're too half-ass, uppity, and bigoty and cocky that they don't want to prostrate themselves. Did I say that? Is that the right word? They don't want to bend the knee to the demands of those supporters to gain those supporters' vote. They assume automatically that no matter what we do, we can get Kamala Harris. Black people, you gonna vote for us, whether you like it or not. You gonna give me that vote. And if you don't vote for me, then you're sexist. You don't care about your people. Hey, I got a black woman right here on my ticket, and you're not gonna vote her in. Shame on you. You're Uncle Tom. You're a traitor to your race. Man, get out of here with this stuff.
Yeah. There's a level of political sophistication that I think a lot of Americans, and not just African Americans, but a lot of Americans don't understand. It goes back to sort of having a real firm understanding of how civics and how the government works. You got to participate.
Bro, this ain't about civics and the government. The problem is the government works crappy. The government, the way they operate, is full of crap. It's been like that since the foundation. The system has always been against anybody but white, number one. It didn't give blacks an opportunity to do anything, and the system hasn't changed, so it's not going to give black the opportunity. If it wasn't for outside political pressure, we wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to vote. It was outside political pressure that pushed the opportunity to vote. And now we have the opportunity to vote. It's outside political pressure that's going to keep that process going all the way through, not inside. It's not about civics. It's not the way government work. I heard Obama say that crap. It's not about that. The government have been working crappy, even with a black president. Half black, half white, but still black, according to the bigoted, racist, white supremacist, one drop rule.
You got to be able to rally around the choices that you have, or you create the choices. You run yourself, and
you got to rally behind the choices that you have. So you give me the choices, and I have to pick one of the two. Bro, it's like saying, look, yo, all you got is Dallas and the Redskins. I hate both teams. I'm sorry, Dallas fan. I hate both teams. So guess what I'm going to do when they come on? I'm turning the TV off. I ain't got to pick one of them. But Rob, this ain't football. It don't matter what it is. You don't. One thing, it was outside political pressure that gave me this freedom that I have, not just politics. Folks, don't get me wrong. It's important to vote. It's important to vote, but it's important that you vote for people that got your best interests at heart, not people who they cram down your throat to appear to have your best interests at heart when they don't have a track record of having your best interests. And they want to try to bully you and push you to believe that the only way you're going to get change is you gotta work with the government and how the government work, and you got how civics work, and until you run for office. It ain't always about running for office, Doc. It's not always about running for office. It's about running at those who are in office, running at them.
Put yourself out there to do that. But saying that you're not going to participate is just a fool's errand if you think that you're going to try to get ahead. One of the things that we were interested in looking at.
Let me say something. Brother, whatever your name is, I ain't even see your name up here. Bruh, this is participating. This is the best participating. You're hurting because you can't control people to move on and support your guy. You're using the fear of Trump. Look, folks, don't get me wrong. There's a fear of Trump. Trump's a horrible candidate. But you want to replace him with something far better, and Joe Biden ain't far better. He's less horrible. And now they want you to pick the less horrible, the less of the two evil. Which one would you rather fight? I'm after both of you. I can't stand both of you. And you people, let me wave the finger over here to you, and y'all just exacerbating the situation. Y'all don't understand that true change comes from the outside. It comes from the bottom, not the top. It comes from outside, not within. And even though we put people in office, we going to apply the pressure on them too. So I'm not telling people don't vote. You're going to vote for whoever you want to vote for. My whole point is, if you're going to go in that voting booth, you're not going to come to me and say, you didn't know about this person. Why y'all didn't tell me about this person? You're not going to use that. I'm going to tell you everything about this person. So when you go in there vote, you're going to go in there voting with the fact that you knew. You knew how horrible this person was, because once you get the orange man out of the office, horrible as he is, you're going to put another tag team in office who is just as horrible, maybe a little less horrible, maybe more horrible. Who knows? Only the future will tell. And then when they start doing that horrible crap, you have no excuse. I'll say you the one put them in there. You the one voted for them. You the one gave them your ultimate support, that vote. That goes from Bernie Sanders to Cornel West to anybody else running who decide to vote for the lesser two evil. That's you. That ain't me. I'm not responsible. No blood on these hands. It's all on yours because you figured you had to. You were forced and manipulated and backed into the corner to pick one of the two. Bro, you back me in the corner. I'm trying to hit both of y'all to get out that corner. I'm almost done, I think.
At the study was the degree to which African Americans, particularly young African Americans, feel disconnected and disaffected by the society. And we seem to think that there is a large level of that, a large level of people, a large number of people who just don't care, who have withdrawn. And I think that presents an opportunity for the Democrats or for progressives, because if they were engaged...
See, it's about a Democratic issue, progressive issue.
That's the way they would vote.
The remixtress on YouTube has a great comment, which I love. My nephew said he wasn't going to vote, and I told his dumb ass not to come back to my house because I'm quarantining from stupidity. And again,
folks, that don't get it. That don't get it. That doesn't get it. When somebody tell you they're not going to vote, that's a signal saying that, look, your politicians are not doing what they can to earn the vote. When have we turned? We've turned from a people who saying, I'm just going to vote for the lesser of the two evil, to people say, no, my vote is my weapon. My vote is my power. You want this guy knocked out? Then we got to come to the table and deal. I'm not just going to give you the goods. Now, I always use a relationship when it comes to voting. I'm not giving up the, you're not going to walk around saying GTD like Tommy from Martin got the draws. You're not going to do that with me, bruh. We're going to get in a covenant relationship. We're going to get married. We're going to have some kind of relationship. You're going to give up something in order to get these draws. You ain't going to just be waving around talking about GTD, because clearly that's what the Democratic Party is trying to do. They're trying to get the draws from you without giving you anything in return. Well, I gave you a couple of drinks last night. Bottom line, I ain't giving you nothing going forward. I already got the draws now, dog.
Look, there are people out there like, Roland, you shouldn't make fun of young people. But this is what I'm saying. If your concern is student loan debt.
Bro, you can't make no fun of nobody with your head looking like that, bro. You really can't.
Your concern is the environment. If your concern is housing, if your concern is public transportation, if your concern is income inequality, the reality is who is in elected office plays a role in all of that. And you must be willing to engage in the political process, because if you say, well, I'm just going to sit out and I'm going to wait.
Bruh, you don't understand. That is part of the political process. You want my vote, you come get it. I'm not just giving you anything. Yes, I want all those things. I want a better environment. I want no-cost health care. I want no-cost education. Me personally, I want the wealth gap to be closed. And I think my people need to have reparations. I think they need cash payment, huge cash payment up front. And yeah, we're putting the pressure on. It's not going to happen. The people that make it happen are not outside. The people that make it happen legally is on the inside. But being on the inside is not the primary way to get it done. It's being on the outside, applying the pressure to those on the inside does it. And your detachment from these parties signal to them that, yo, you want this vote? Then you got to give up something for it. I'm not just going to you're not going to count on me. You're not going to count on my freaking vote. You're not going to count anything concerning me until you give me what I want. Power without demand concede nothing, bruh. Not a doggone thing. And the only way you're going to concede power is not politically electing people to office. It's being a power pressure to those who are in office. Not holding the feet to fire. Talking about ending your political career, period, if you don't give us what we want.
Well, exactly who are you waiting for? And by you sitting out and waiting, what you really are saying is, I'm going to sit out and wait and let some other people pick somebody, and then I'll pay attention.
Well,
no, we're saying that you come earn our vote. I'm not willing to sit out. I'll come. But you gotta give me a reason to come for you. You gotta give me more than just Orange Man bad. What's up with the tangibles? This is a business transaction, man. What's up with the tangible? I'm voting you in the office to get business done on behalf of my community, and you guys haven't been doing it. And now you want to bitch, moan, and cry again because we ain't supporting you? That we don't have your full support? Or you don't have my full support? Bruh, that's what's supposed to happen. I don't want you counting on me for jack. I want you to count on me only when you count on us. I want you to count on me when you make the deal. And instead of sitting here scolding people, Mr. Black man, whether you're a black immigrant or not, you need to be going to your politicians saying these people folding out, they're sitting out for a reason, Kamala Harris. They're sitting out for a reason, Joe Biden. You ain't offering them nothing. Now, if you want to get them to come out, you need to make a deal. Because the only way I'm going to come out and do anything for you is a deal have to be done. This is business, baby. This is business. Even though you make it personal with your policies, we still can get a business deal done. And obviously, you don't want to get it done.
Actually, it's a little worse than that. What they're actually saying is, I'm not ever going to pay attention. We conducted...
Bro, why you sitting up here lying?
Also focus groups in the same geographic areas across the age ranges. And we were astounded to learn that a lot of people just didn't believe that no matter whether they voted or didn't vote, their lives were not going to be materially changed. They did not believe that participating in civic life, voting, going to rallies, supporting candidates. They didn't believe any of that had any impact on their lives.
Okay, hold on, wait.
Now, before Butterbean start talking, the black version of Butterbean, bruh, don't you think they got a reason? 8 years of Barack Obama did nothing for the black community. Don't you think they got a reason? You got a man who claimed to be the leader of black people and he never led black people. You don't think that's discouraging? When you got a Democratic Party that go all out their way to rig an election and even admit in court saying that, look, at the end of the day, we pick and choose who we want. We're a corporation. We're not a political unit. We're a corporation. We make the final decision. Bruh, it's not the fact that we don't care. It's not the fact that we don't want to vote. We need reasons to vote, and you haven't given us one. The reason to vote is so you don't go backwards. Yeah, and the reason not to vote is so we don't go backwards too. We need to remind you who's in charge. It's not your political leaders, it's us. And when we put you in office, we'll expect you to get something done. And you haven't been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years. So it's time to remind you and whip you by letting you know you ain't got our support. Now, you want to come get it, you can get it. But you're going to have to earn it. And y'all too lazy to do that. And you two brothers up here don't understand that.
Confused though. But were these same people the ones calling for change and protesting?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Many of them thought that the way that you could get what they wanted was to protest. They thought
but wait. I'm confused. So they think they can get what they want by protesting, but who do they think is in charge of the very policies they want change?
Well, that goes back to what I was saying a minute ago.
All right, let me deconstruct you, Roland Martin. Bro, we protesting, we got a lot of stuff already changed. We got your whole political party scared to their wits that they're not going to get reelected if they didn't bend the knee. So that's the only reason why they went out there talking about changing some of the police brutality laws and things like that. That's the reason why Cuomo did what he did and Mayor de Blasio did. It was the outside political pressure. Wasn't nobody voting at that moment. But you realize you got a mass unit of people that's saying we want change and change now. And if you don't get it, your seat might be gone. So it's the other way around, Roland Martin. Yeah. It's the people in the halls of Congress. It's the political leaders that's supposed to make the laws. But it's the people from the outside that's supposed to apply the pressure on them to shape the laws. And the best way to apply the pressure is show no allegiance to neither one of you people. That I'm not attached to you. I'm only attached to the goal. Now, if you say that you're going to do these things for us, especially you can show us that you got a track record, because your word isn't just enough no more. Let me see your record. You have a record of doing this thing. You have a record of defunding the police. You have a record of bringing harsh criminal policies to the police department, which Kamala Harris definitely did. She didn't do. She did the opposite. Joe Biden, the one, gave them the power to do what they do. And Trump would just go along with the plan like Obama did it, I did it. He'll do it too. He's copycatting. So it's not just the voting in, bruh. You got to understand the way you seeing these numbers is twisted. It's not the fact that these people want to sit out. Some of these people detach themselves from the political process to let you know that you ain't doing what we want to do. So therefore, we ain't going to do what you want us to do. Now, if you start doing what we want you to do, we'll do what you want us to do. But you got to understand who run the show. It ain't you politicians. It's we the people.
There's a huge gulf between their understanding of how real change takes place. And that's a civic question. That's a civic challenge to our society. And we wanted to sort of be able to put some empirical research into the question about how do we engage these people who are opting out of the system, who are opting out of paying attention to how real systemic change. You're absolutely right to point out it happens through politics. That's the only way you get things done.
No, it's not, idiot. It's beyond me. I tell a person yesterday, you know, I trust the country bunking more than I trust these intellectuals in Washington, D.C. I'm trying to calm down, guys. I'm almost done. You guys got so much brains that you don't have common sense. You have so much brain you have. It's not the point that they're not engaged. You seeing this proves that they're engaged. They're watching, and the reason they're in the position they're in is because they're watching and haven't seen nothing done with the last generation. So now the next generation come up and say, why me going that route and do nothing for you? Why do you think going that route is going to do something for me? We got to do something different. The protest movement itself has the ability to that's applying the pressure on politicians from the outside. Ask Mayor Fry, ask some of these police chiefs, Keisha Bottom and all them, ask them. Turn around and is going to scold the protesters 1 minute. Ask them. You can scold the protesters all you want. Those very protesters will vote your butt out. So don't you dare think that they're not interested in voting. They're interested in voting. They're just not interested in voting for your guy. Because your guy haven't done nothing but crapped on them all his political career. And his female disciple done the same thing in California. So why expand it? Why magnify by putting her in office and possibly one heartbeat away? And Joe was looked like he's about one heartbeat away, really, from the White House. And then you got the other person on the other side. He just biting off the bits to get stuff done like that. He's looking to terrorize people, just don't know how to do it. Don't know how to do it politically like these two people. So, bruh, with your civics lesson, they are engaged, and that's them showing you that they're engaged. They're letting you know, look, we see you. The generation before me, my aunts, my uncles, they kept doing the same thing and nothing happened. Then they put in a token, I won't say token. Then they put in a black president and nothing happened. That stuff stopped. And we told you that in 2016 when you got a lot of people that just say, I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton or Trump. And it's going to repeat again, and it is not their fault. It's your candidate's fault because they're not doing what they need to do to engage these people. Instead of pissing on them, farting on them, and dunking on them, engage them with tangibles. See, there's a lot of species out here that will not come nowhere near you until you put something out there for them to bring them on in. And that's the kind of species we are. Until you put something on the table, you can miss me with your vote.
So I want to bring in.
Don't bring in nobody. I'm done with you, Roland. I'm done. This is an interesting debate, and it's an interesting topic. They polled young black men, and they're nervous because young black men are not engaged, according to them. They did the poll, and they feel young black men is not engaged because black men say they're not voting. They're not engaged. No, a lot of them are not voting because they're very engaged. They see what's going on. Thanks to the internet, they can check your record. Thanks to the internet, we can see what you did in the past and what you said in the past and how you legislated in the past. And that's discouraging to them. And then here you the older generation, You put all these people in office and nothing still got done for black people, let alone all people. And then you wonder why they're not at this point currently engaged. You figure they're not engaged because they say they're not going to support you or your candidate. No, that's evidence that they're engaged. They're using that mindset to let you know that we ain't going that route. Either you two talk to your candidate, especially you, Roland Martin. You got a little position with your sister sorority girl Kamala Harris. You got a little position. You probably can talk to Joe Biden. You dance for Hillary Clinton. You did the jigaboo or whatever you want to do. The Charleston whatever for Hillary Clinton, the wobble. It's up to you to go to them and tell them that you got a certain people in this society that's not gonna vote for you, and here's the reason why they're saying they're not going to vote for you. It's up to you to fix that. You want to secure their vote? You want to get outside votes? You want to get votes for independents? You're going to have a meeting with them and find out where's the miscommunication, where's the detachment. And whatever detachment they tell you, you need to fix that so you can attach again. Other than that, it's going to be 2016 all over again, and Trump will be the president again for another 4 years. It's not the voter fault. It's not the non-voter fault. It's not the independent. It's not those guys' fault. It's your candidate fault for not working hard enough to go and get that vote. But not working hard enough to get them back engaged, to get them back registered. Look, Newt Gingrich came with the contract with America. Ice Cube got this thing called Contract with Black America. I'm not a fan of it. There's other ways out. There's other contracts. There's other platforms for Black agenda out there. But take that and at least present that. At least present it. Take that. You got a lot of people that's independent that's not Black. You want health care? You want no cost education? Done. But no, your people, Roland Martin, want to continue to kiss up to the capitalists, want to continue to show their capitalist ways, don't want to show no socialism of giving people what they pay their taxes for. So it's up to you to go to your politicians and tell them you want their vote, you got to give up your position. Because right now, they're on the side of whether you win or not. They ain't got nothing to lose. And understand this, Roland Martin. There's some things that some people are willing to give their life for. They're willing to give their life for. There's some issues that people will lay on the sword for. You got some people, Medicare for all, you don't give it to them, it's a done deal. That's their litmus test. Purity test behind. It ain't got nothing to do with purity test. It's that we're in a business transaction. You want my vote. I want this. Let's come to an agreement. What I want will benefit all America. You just want my vote. Let's come to an agreement. I need reparations. I need tangible reparation. I need a cash payment. You want our vote? You come. Let's talk the deal. Because until you then, you ain't getting it. It's not that I'm not engaged. It's because you won't engage me. And that's what you do in a marriage. Before you get engaged and commit, you got to give up a whole lot of stuff. No more talking to other girls, Rob. What? No more talking to other girls. You go to a party, Rob, you don't go alone. You got to take me, your future wife, with you. What? Yes. You got to give up. That's where the engagement comes. And your politicians just don't want to give up. And therefore, you can't blame the person that's not engaged. You got to blame the person who won't engage the person who's not engaged. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, guys, let me see who's up here. I kind of like these, man. Every now and then I'm going to do these, man. I kind of like these. Let me see who's up here. Let me put my glasses on. Anthony Reyes, what's up, bro? Misha? Mika Kingzilla? David Gregory? David Gregory for MSNBC? Nah, let me stop. Karen, hello, my queen. Tatiana, hello, my queen. Uh, man, Black Governor, what's up, Black Governor? Guys, I thank everybody for being on today. It was just something on the spur of the moment. Every now and then I do these and do a live reaction to some of the bull that they talk about on TV. But I appreciate you guys. There's a lot of comments up here. I can't go through them all. Want to know why I can't go through them all? Because a brother got to use the bathrooms. And I got to get out of here also. But I love you guys. I'm going to be back later on tonight talking about something about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, content for young people. I'll talk about that later on tonight. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. And if you want to contribute, you can. Bob TV NYC. PayPal.me/B OBTVNYC. All right, I'm out of here. Peace. Love you guys. Peace.